चाओ चाओ दोस्तों, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। मेरा नाम है अजय मेनन। आप हो एएम टॉक स्पोर्ट पे और ये वीडियो है ऑन रोमा's defeat, shock defeat at home to Empoli. We analyze the game, we look back at the key moments. So watch the video till the end. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button for all content around Italian football, football in general, and of course all of the sports. Let's start the video.
Here we go again.
तो भाई ये रोमा का फर्स्ट होम गेम था ऑफ द सीजन। गेम वीक 2 आफ्टर यू कैन से अ स्लाइटली डिसअपॉइंटिंग ड्रॉ अवे टू कैलियरी एंड बिटवीन देन एंड द होम गेम एट एम्पोली बहुत सारा कंट्रोवर्सी था ऑफ द पिच with regards to one particular player, Paulo Dybala. Will he stay? Will he go? In the end, he rejected a multi-million offer from Saudi, and he ended up staying at Roma and starting for Roma in this game at a sold-out Olimpico. 60,000 fans odd had packed in and were in anticipation of a good game. But things really didn't go into, as per plan. And let's get into the game very quickly. And you can safely say that Empoli were the better team in the first half. Giassi had a chance. Far post, he found some space unmarked and he headed it wide. He should have scored. Jacopo Fanzini, another youngster of Empoli, he tested Miles Villar. And Villar, I think, was quite busier amongst the two keepers, you can say, in terms of saves, because once Empoli got a cushion, of course, then Roma started attacking, but the initial threat was all Empoli. At the break, Empoli led by a goal to nil, but in between they had a lot of chances. Roma did not look threatening. मेरे हिसाब से they were slightly lost. De Rossi kind of really couldn't explain what he wanted with the players. So Roma in attack were looking a bit disjointed. Dobbik was holding up the ball, but there were no runners. So I would say there was some tweaking around that needed to be done. And of course, Roma had already conceded and Empoli looked very threatening and they would score a few more goals. So change was the urgent need of the hour. Lorenzo Pellegrini hit a thunderbolt which hit the crossbar. Should have really gone in, but unfortunately, that was the last time that the Roma threatened because Empoli got the second goal. A very, very silly mistake by Paredes, unnecessarily giving away the ball, chasing down the Empoli player and committing a very silly mistake inside the box. Penalty de diya and Lorenzo Colombo slotted it very brilliantly, to be honest, past a helpless Villar. Empoli 2 goals up away from home. This is an Empoli team that had never ever won at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome. So बहुत ही गंदा upset लग रहा था. And immediately De Rossi changed Paredes and Cristante, brought fresh legs in the form of Zalewski. And in my opinion, Zalewski came on and he made quite an impact, I would say. He was very menacing on the left wing. And another substitute in the form of Elder Shomurodov is the one who got Roma's first goal of the season. ये मेरे bingo card में बिल्कुल नहीं था. Eldor Shomurodov, the Uzbek prince, who was on loan last year to Cagliari, scoring Roma's first goal of the season. He got Roma back into the game. He had a very decent chance. Immediately after that, he could have made it 2-all, within a span of a few minutes, but the Empoli goalkeeper parried it away. Uske baad mein Empoli just sat back and it was just a wave after a wave of Roma chances, but Roma didn't manage to kind of break the deadlock. There was a counter Empoli का जिसमें Villar ने बहुत ही बढ़िया सेव किया, but एक डिबाला शॉट भी था जो पोस्ट पे लगा. Very beautiful shot, very sweet shot by Paulo Dybala. Hit the post. This was, I think, in stoppage time. Could have really been a 2-all. It looked like it was going to be a 2-all, considering the fact that Empoli had never beaten Roma in Rome. But at the end of the day, I think Empoli deserved all 3 points on the night, and they walked away with a win. And Rome and Roma were in a shock. The Olimpico really didn't know how to react, and it's been 2 games now, and Roma really haven't kind of impressed with all the new signings coming in. De Rossi kind of being a little clueless, a little late on substitutions, probably not getting in the right subs at the right time. In fact, there's a fantastic tweet by Uncle Sharma. The way that, Premier League में जो teams press करते हैं, ऐसे Serie A, जो low block teams, they generally don't press. They wait for you to make a mistake, and that's exactly what Empoli did. Empoli का जो head coach है Roberto Diavarsa, he was not on the pitch, he was suspended. So credit to the entire Empoli coaching team for pulling off probably one of the biggest victories in the recent history. Coincidentally, the last win against Roma at Empoli saved them from relegation last season, and now they've really impressed with a win away at the Olimpico. So credit where it's due. A lot of work to be done for Roma, and we'll quickly look into some of the stats and analytics powered by Sofascore before we move on to the next segment, which is all the other Serie A results and a quick look forward to game week 3. All right, so here are the stats for all you nerds out there like me. I am a nerd myself, powered by Sofascore. So let's have a quick look at it. This is what it says. 73% of ball possession for Roma. Obviously, the XG was 2.19, whereas for Empoli it was 2.87. So very clearly, Empoli had, I would say, the most clear chances to score more goals. Should have at least scored 3 goals in my opinion. And again, that shows in the big chances. Roma 2, Empoli 5. Total shots 27-14. Again, towards the end, आपने देखा कि Empoli sat back and Roma was just, there was wave after wave of pressure, but unfortunately couldn't really break through. Otherwise, 614 passes, 230 passes. Nothing really that stands out. Very, very ordinary performance from Roma. Not really convincing in, I would say, in converting their chances and allowing a lot of space to Empoli. Yaar, game week 3 mein Juve hai. If you give Juve these kind of chances, they will put 4 to 5 goals in quite easily. And you can see the average position of Roma. आप देख सकते हो कि there was a lot of cluster towards the right hand side of the pitch. Dybala, Sule were trying to get involved. Dobbik was kind of like, the focal point once again. Not a very impressive game in my opinion. The first goal of Empoli, जो Giassi ने goal मारा, came from that left hand side जहाँ पे Angelino and उस समय Mattia Sule भी left पे था. That's where the goal kind of came in for Giassi. So defensively, I think a little gaps to be filled for Roma. And this is the heat map of Nikola Zalewski. Like I mentioned, after he came on, Roma looked slightly threatening, but overall nothing to write home about for any Roma player apart from Shomurodov for that matter. I was really, really impressed by Lorenzo Colombo of Empoli, and you can see, he was probably 7.7 ka rating hai, but I think he deserved a bit more than that. And Jacopo Fazzini, 7.1 ka rating hai, but in my opinion, he was very, very instrumental. Once again, these are stats, but from what I could see from the naked eye, Fazzini is a very, very cerebral player, बहुत दिमाग वाला player है. So keep an eye out on him. But yeah, that's pretty much about it in terms of the numbers powered by Sofascore. Game week 3 में जैसे मैंने mention किया, it's Juve Roma. And you have Milan, Lazio and Inter Atlanta as well. Very big games coming up in match day 3. Match day 2, you saw Milan losing to Parma. You saw Udinese beating Lazio, whereas Juve continue their streak with a 3-0 win against Verona. Inter also getting their first win of the season. Atalanta lost to Torino as well. So you had Roma, Atalanta, Milan, Lazio all losing on a game weekend, game week 2. And you would fancy, I would say, 3 out of 4 teams to win. I would say 4 out of 4, even Atalanta, considering they're Atalanta now. I think ये 4 upset था ये Serie A season में, which does not happen quite often in the Premier League, Bundesliga or La Liga. Serie A में it is quite unique that it happened that 4 teams, very clear favorites to win, kind of all lost on the same game week. So interesting stuff happening in Serie A, and of course, for everything related to Calcio Italian football, subscribe to Calcio Churcha. It is a home for Italian football fans in India. And I think that's it for this video. Very, very disappointing game week, disappointing start. And I have no expectations from the Juve Roma game. Right at the bat, मैं आपको बोलने वाला हूँ, Juve start as clear favorites. Only a fool would bet on Roma to come away with all 3 points at, Juve. Traditionally, Roma away at Juve has just always been disastrous for Roma. So no expectations from that particular game. Hopefully, De Rossi manages to sign a few more players. We've got in Saud Abdulhamid from Saudi Arabia, the right back. Kevin Danso has just landed in Rome as well, a centre back. So hopefully वो सारे जो नए signings है come into the groove after the international break. But that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for all the love and support. I'll be back in another video sometime soon. Sempre Forza Roma. Until next time, this is Ajay Menon signing off. You are on AM Talk Sport. Ciao, ciao.